They say people move for sunshine and cheaper taxes, but here's the brutal truth. Americans are voting with their moving trucks, and some states are losing residents so fast it looks like a clearance sale nobody told you about. Before we start, quick favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell. If you're thinking about moving, this video could save you thousands. If you want the numbers behind any state I mention, comment the name, and I'll break it down in a follow-up. All right, let's get into the 10 states losing residents the fastest and the quiet reasons behind the exodus. What they don't want you to know is exactly what you need to check before you sign a lease or mortgage.
Number 10. Hawaii. Hawaii sells postcards, sunsets, and a feeling you can't get anywhere else. It also sells a cost of living that will quietly eat your raise. The island lifestyle comes with supply chain premiums, sky-high housing costs, and limited land for new construction. Jobs in tourism and service sectors are essential, but often don't match the real housing expense. Everything shipped to the islands adds cost. Building new housing means navigating geography and regulation. That gap turns aloha into arithmetic. If your paycheck doesn't cover food, fuel, and a mortgage, the island dream becomes an expensive nostalgia. For some families, the choice ends up being keep the ocean view and tighten the belt, or trade a coastline for breathing room on the mainland. Neither choice is simple, but the math is real. Number 9. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a patchwork. Cities and college towns humming next to rural areas that feel stuck in slow motion. While metro areas show pockets of innovation, many smaller towns have hollowed-out industrial cores and aging populations. Young adults leave for careers in tech, healthcare, or education elsewhere, and often don't return. That hollowing reduces tax revenue and weakens local services. A closed factory is not just lost wages, it's a lost lunch counter, a lost civic sponsor, and slower snow removal. The result is a chain reaction. Fewer people, fewer businesses, fewer reasons for the next family to stay. It's quiet, incremental, and deadly for local economies. Number 8. Massachusetts. Brains, biotech, and world-class universities make this state remarkable and mean housing costs sit at a premium. Hospitals and colleges bring money, prestige, and competition for limited housing stock. That competition drives prices up faster than many salaries rise, and even well-paid workers eventually ask whether the trade-off is worth it, a smaller apartment or long commuting time versus a home and yard in a cheaper place. For young families, this calculus often pushes them towards states where a mortgage actually buys square footage and long-term stability.
Number 7. New Jersey. New Jersey's proximity to massive job markets is both a blessing and a trap. You can live in the Garden State and access big city opportunity if you can afford the taxes and housing. Property taxes, insurance, and the local cost of living turn what should be convenience into a recurring bill. Many households decide that a slightly longer commute from an adjacent state or a move to a less expensive suburb buys them peace of mind and a bigger home without a catastrophic career hit. When ownership becomes a stretch instead of an attainable step, people vote with their feet. Number 6. Illinois. Illinois tells a tale of two realities. Chicago is a cultural and economic hub, but many other counties around it face population declines, fiscal friction, and governance struggles that erode confidence. Persistent budget fights and tax debates can create a perception of instability. Families and businesses that can relocate to states with friendlier tax climates and lower housing costs sometimes do. And that slow outflow then pressures local services, which in turn nudges more people to consider leaving. It's a feedback loop that's hard to break. Number 5. New York. New York still draws people with jobs, culture, and energy unmatched anywhere. But the cost of living, crowded commutes, and taxes make many households recalculate. Remote work supercharged a choice that already existed. Keep your job, but remove yourself from constant congestion and astronomical housing costs. That migration doesn't erase the city's magnetism for tourists or new hires, but it does mean more long-term residents ask whether family life, safety, and a yard trump a smaller apartment and a faster commute. Number 4. Michigan. Michigan's story is a patchwork of revival and friction. Detroit's comeback and pockets of growth are real, but other regions are still adjusting to new economic realities as manufacturing evolves. Where consistent investment and job growth are absent, residents leave for more stable economies. When a community can't offer steady opportunities or modern housing, younger households make a rational choice: move to where the labor market fits their skills. That choice tends to ripple outward, making community renewal a steeper climb. Number 3. California. This is the loud tip of the iceberg. Gorgeous geography, global industry, and an economy that drives entire sectors, and at the same time, one of the steepest living cost environments in the country. Housing costs, long commutes, and taxation can make staying untenable for many families. Remote work and corporate relocations have given Californians viable alternatives. Keep the job, live somewhere the salary goes farther. The result is population shifts toward the Mountain West, Sunbelt, and other markets with lower housing costs and often friendlier tax regimes. That migration changes school enrollments, property markets, and the daily fabric of communities. Number 2. New York State, outside NYC. Beyond Manhattan and the boroughs, much of New York State faces different pressures. Upstate towns and smaller suburbs wrestle with job scarcity, aging populations, and housing that isn't aligned with modern needs. Young people leave for education and jobs and frequently don't return. International migration can mask this trend in headline totals, but when working-age residents leave, the long-term economic consequences, fewer workers, closed schools, and strained budgets add up quickly. Number 1. The trio to watch: Vermont, West Virginia, Mississippi. These states aren't collapsing, but they illustrate a steady structural problem: aging populations, low birth rates, and persistent outmigration of younger adults. That pattern shrinks the workforce and erodes tax bases, leading to school consolidations, fewer medical specialists, and local businesses that can't find staff. Reversing this requires jobs, amenities, and investments that bring younger families back, a tall order when budgets are already tight. Think of it as a slow drain rather than a single shock, harder to notice day to day, but devastating over a decade.
What's the pattern? It's rarely one cause. High-cost states lose residents when housing and taxes outpace wage growth. Rural and small states lose residents when younger cohorts leave and birth rates fall short. International migration can disguise domestic decline. A state might grow on paper because newcomers arrive from abroad while longtime residents depart. That can obscure shrinking local networks and service capacity. Service availability changes. Lower population means fewer hospitals, fewer specialty clinics, grocery closures, and transit reductions. All of these quietly change quality of life, especially for retirees and families without reliable transport. People aren't moving for drama, they're moving for math. Housing prices, job opportunities, taxes, and the availability of real services are quietly redrawing the American map. That matters for your wallet, your family, and the towns where your neighbors live. Treat a move like an investment. Study the numbers, check the services, and decide with both heart and a spreadsheet. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay strategic, and I'll see you in the next video.